to DNA Reviews. This is the day y'all have been waiting for, okay? We are now about to do full spoiler. So this is your spoiler warning for Spider-Man No Way Home. You've been waiting for this movie for a year now. It was supposed to come out forever ago. So this is a spoiler review. We're not just doing like the big spoilers here. We're doing Easter eggs. We're doing explained. We're doing little things. We're going from beginning to end.
Going deep, guys.
Yes.
This is your warning. If you have not seen this movie, and the name of the title of this was spoiler review, it is your business. Do not be mad at us when we say what we gotta say.
Like,
right?
I literally better not get any Twitter tweets being like, you spoiled the movie. And I was like, it's spoiler
review.
talk.
All right.
So yes, so let's just get into it because I'm really excited about this movie and I really loved it. So I wanted to first get your initial review, like your initial thoughts. Did you love this movie? Yeah.
Now that I have time to let it soak in a little more than the first one I came out of the movie was 10 out of 10. It was 10 out of 10 because
Yeah.
I was so excited.
Yeah.
I was a kid in the candy shop. I really love this movie because the first two Spider-Man in the what's his name? I'm forgetting his name.
Tobey Maguire,
No.
Andrew Garfield.
No,
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland. Oh, I'm so excited and gonna blank. The first two Tom Holland versions of Spider-Man, they were good. They were okay. I enjoyed them, but I never walked away with a feeling of satisfaction because it was so much related to team everything. Tony Stark was some part of MCU. It really wasn't Spider-Man, and so I enjoyed watching them. They were great, but this movie. This felt like a Sony Spider-Man movie.
It did.
This movie was about Spider-Man, even though Happy showed up, and we had a couple of little sprinkles in here from other characters. This really was a Spider-Man movie. There's so much to unpack we got to do today, but my initial review for this movie is still a 10 out of 10. It's a great movie.
Yeah, I also give it a 10 out of 10 because I do wish that I loved the Tom Holland movies before because I feel like that would have even elevated this movie even more.
Yeah.
But because I didn't like the other two, it was like when things happened, I was like, oh, okay. But I still give this movie a 10 out of 10 because he was finally Peter Parker. He was finally Spider-Man. And it just catered to everything that I wanted in this movie.
Yeah, definitely. It just felt like a overall, there were a couple of plot points in there, of course. You know me, I'm always going to find plot issues.
Little things.
I'm going to find plot issues that doesn't make sense. But because I enjoyed the movie so much, that stuff never took me out of the movie to say, that doesn't make sense. Right. It never took me out of the movie. I was still in it, and I still let it roll. I still felt the movie. It was great, and yeah, can't go wrong from that.
Can't. So starting from the beginning, the movie starts out with a voiceover. I actually really liked this voiceover, what they did, where like it starts right from Far From Home to this movie, and J. Jonah Jameson is back, this character is back, and the actor is.
Oh man.
Sorry, no. But yeah, J. Jonah is back, and it starts out with Tom Holland, and he's trying to like hide that he got, Simmons.
J.K. Simmons. It takes a minute to catch up with names.
Right?
Yeah, but he's back. He's playing, of course, both roles from the original Tobey Maguire, J. Jonah, and of course he's playing a new version of J. Jonah without hair. And instead of being a newspaper here, he has like a blog that turns into a TV show. But man, yeah, it was like watching the exact same person from the 2000s. He brought the same energy. He was the same guy. It was great.
Yeah. And I really liked in the beginning, it was this really great one shot in the apartment because he's trying to make sure that Aunt May and Happy don't know that he got exposed. It's like this one shot where he goes from like room to room and he's like trying to like close everything. And then like they finally find out. And it's just like, it was just a great way to get us in the movie, to get the energy going, because it wasn't like a slow start, you know what I mean?
And Happy and Aunt May broke up.
I know. They broke up. She was like, you're doing a little bit too much. I think I'm done here.
Yeah, they broke them up. I mean, to be honest, we don't know why they broke up because in Homecoming, not Homecoming, Far From Home, they're together, and then here you switch and they broke up. So I don't understand why they broke up. Something happened, I guess. But I guess they decided we need to break them up because what was going to happen at to Aunt May, we needed to have the energy on Peter. If you think about it, They did that for that reason. Because if Aunt May and Happy was together, when what happened to Aunt May
Aunt May
later
ha-
down the road, well,
Yeah.
the energy would be Happy's,
Right,
right?
exactly.
Because hey, that's his girlfriend. They love each other, so they had to make it distant between them. Where Aunt May's like, "Look, we were just dating. That it's not that serious." So the energy belongs to Peter, and that rolls over to Happy. So that's why they broke them up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. It was smart to do that in the beginning.
For sure. I think, yeah, it was smart that they did that. And then we go to where now that Aunt May and Happy know, they have to go into custody, and Aunt May and MJ know what they're doing. They're like, don't say anything without a lawyer.
MJ was like, both at the same time. Don't say anything without a lawyer.
Yes, exactly.
At the same time.
And Ned, though, he's like, yeah, I mean, because he was the nice good cop, bad cop.
Yeah, the good cop.
He's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I mean, I'm the man in the chair and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I really like that scene. And then we get to we get to Peter Parker and the DA. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
The DA is like, you're gonna need a good lawyer. You're gonna need a good lawyer. And I was like, what do you mean you need a good lawyer? What do you mean? I was right. I need to get this out. Like, I need to get this out.
Get it out, like, this is your chance.
I was right.
Get it all out.
Okay?
Get it all the way out.
The way that I was fighting.
You were listen, you were saying from the jump that Matt Murdock is in this movie is going to be a defense lawyer. And I was like, that doesn't make narrative sense for him to be in the movie. But hey, Kevin Feige heard you through the universe. And he gave it to
He
you.
watches the show. I was fighting for this guy to be in this show. So, yeah. Look at that, guys. And it was a great introduction.
Is my mic coming through? I just got a text saying they can't hear you.
Oh, let's see. Hello?
Yeah, all right. I don't know. Oh, she's saying stay close to the mic. Okay. So, all right.
Are you back in now?
Or something. Anyway, so no, yeah, you were right. The universe came through for you, and I guess Kevin Feige
For
heard
like
you, like
months,
I said,
Dad.
and yeah, you were holding on to that. You were holding on to that like, I don't know, like a mom to the baby.
Okay, so for the people that don't know who Matt Murdock is, if you saw this guy and you never watched the Netflix TV shows, so the excellent lawyer who can catch bricks faster than Spidey is Matt Murdock, aka Daredevil. Marvel chief Kevin Feige recently made headlines for confirming Charlie Cox would continue to be the MCU's Daredevil now and in the future after his Netflix show was canceled following its third season. Many wanted the actor to appear in the MCU as the blind superhero once more, and the wish was granted. Matt isn't the only character from Netflix's Marvel shows to come back this week either.
That's right. Yeah, we saw the final picture of Kingpin inside of Hawkeye. So, and that was a good setup for this, right? Because that was just before this. So this makes me really wonder what's going to happen in Hawkeye on Wednesday.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that'll be a lot to plug. It's the last one. So it'll be a lot. And then it would kind of take away from Hawkeye if they brought Charlie Cox into this. But if
then.
But if they brought Charlie Cox into Hawkeye, I could see how they could do it like how they did it here, where it could just be a quick quib and not nothing where it's like he's full blown being used. Otherwise it'll just be too packed. But no, it was good. It was good to see it. It got a pop out of the audience. It got a pop out of me.
Yeah.
You lost it.
I lost
and this
it.
is just the first one. This is just the first surprise.
This was the first surprise, and I screamed because I was like, I was right. Okay? And I can't believe that they did. But the thing is, I knew he was coming back because Kevin Feige confirmed it.
Right.
But I didn't think it was going to be in Spider-Man. I did think it, but
I didn't think it was going to be in
playfully.
Spider-Man because he really didn't have a narrative. And to be honest with you, his role in Spider-Man was so
perfect.
small.
Perfect. It was a nice sprinkle of just catching the brick, showing that he has something, and you have to wait to see.
We all know it though. So he was not narratively needed. He was just thrown in. Unlike the other pops later, but he was not nearly needed. He was just there for fan service. But
And
it was
if
good.
he's
It was good fan service.
It was good fan service.
It was good fan
and if
service.
he's in Hawkeye, that's gonna be crazy.
If he's in Hawkeye, then it was smart to put him in
maybe,
Spider-Man.
yeah, and maybe because the thing is, it is during the same time because there is a like Easter egg of Rogers the musical, so it's the same time period, you know. So
I didn't see. I missed that one.
it wasn't. I didn't see it in the movie, but it was in the daily this promotion that they were giving out. It was a Daily Bugle
Gotcha.
newspaper. I was like, okay, come on.
Yeah.
It's the same time period. It was Christmas time because at the end of the movie, there's a Christmas tree. It's the same moment.
Okay. Well, yeah, it can all be happening.
Okay. Yes, I'm excited. So now we move on to so Ned, MJ, and Peter are trying to get into college, but their reputation with Spider-Man won't let them. And so people felt like this part of the movie kind of was unnecessary. And I was like, 'cause they just felt like it was a push forward to get to the bridge. And I was like, I feel like it was necessary because I want to know about our characters. I want to know that they have lives still.
Right.
Like,
No, it was
unlike Far From Home, where it was like just lives and barely any Spider-Man.
All behind the scenes.
Like all behind the scenes and no Spider-Man. But like I still want to see that finally he's moving on from high school to college.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But how did you feel?
It was good to see because you need to understand his motivation. I mean, if he had just went from Matt Murdock to Stephen Strange, that wouldn't make any sense, right? So you needed to see the motivation behind why he wanted to do what he did and why the movie happened. His friends are losing out because of him. He's losing out because of actions that are happening in, being Spider-Man. So the weight of Spider-Man has caused consequences for him, his life, and his aunt. So of course he's going to take, some steps. But so if we never see this, then you're going to be like, well, how'd you get here? So no, that didn't make what they're saying. Whoever's mad about it, tough.
They're just kind of like, oh, it just didn't feel like it fit. And I'm like, it did fit though.
You got to understand his motivations. And in the movie, sometimes you need to see how stuff are built up. So no, that makes no sense. It was good.
Yeah, I feel the same. And so after Peter Parker's like, okay, my friends can't get in because they know I'm Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go straight to Doctor Strange. And so he goes straight to Doctor Strange.
Straight to Doctor Strange.
And he's doing the spell.
Right.
And he keeps messing it up because he's like, I want everyone to forget me, but not MJ, not Ned.
Well,
you
should have been specific in your request in the beginning.
And it would have been, we would have been not here.
Yeah, you should have.
All right.
Now, here's this part kind of ticks me out a little bit. So why is Doctor Strange down here with Peter? All you got to tell me is what you need to do. I'll take care of it. I don't need you in the room. 2, you know this is a delicate spell. On almost anything can mess it up. Why is Peter here? You know what I'm saying?
Doctor Strange is reckless.
He's
reckless.
What for a neurosurgeon? He damn sure is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hey, he was texting and driving. That's how he became.
Well, the thing, exactly. I was just gonna say he's a narcissist, right? So he doesn't think he can make mistakes. So it wouldn't make sense to him to say, I got it.
Come on,
I can do it.
And no, you don't got it because you messed up the spell. And then it's so funny because Doctor Strange is like, you came to me first before talking to her.
Yeah, because he said that you called the school and made a point for yourself, and he was like, no, I didn't. You can do that. What I like about the things that happen in this movie, because we forget this a lot. Peter Parker is 17 years old.
I know.
Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So 17 years old, you don't know stuff.
Yeah.
And you're not smart. You're smart. He's educationally smart in the things he knows as a genius.
Right.
But he doesn't know the world, right? And he's making the same mistakes that any 17-year-old would make where they assume something is and not taking that step. So no, he didn't take the step. But whose fault is that though? Is it Peter's fault? Because who's the fool, right? I always say, who's the fool? The fool or the person that follows the fool? So if Peter didn't call, but you're Doctor Strange, did you ask him if he called?
Right.
Right. You just went downstairs to cast a spell. Did you ask him about all of the natural things he could do besides the spell first? Did you try this, Peter? Did you try? Oh, well, there's no chance. Let's do the spell. Right. No, you went straight to the spell.
But yeah, that's Doctor Strange. And the thing is, he messed up the spell, and I thought that's when everything was gonna break. Yeah. But he was able to contain it, and I was like, okay, everything's fine. I knew the movie, but I was like, I was like immersed.
Right.
So I was like, oh, everything's fine. We'll see how they come into the universe.
Yeah.
And then he goes to the bridge and he's like, all right, I will talk to the admissions lady. And when he goes there,
they started it from the jump, man.
This is like where we are right now is probably like 20 minutes into the
like
movie.
15, 20 minutes in the movie.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, man, this is early for stuff to be popping off. But I guess, you know what, though? They had to. There's so much happening.
And I just love how, it does start out. Because it just kind of goes. And like when I was saying earlier with like how the movie started, it's just energy. So when we get to this point of the bridge scene, we're able to just, be in it. We're not like overwhelmed.
Right. We weren't overwhelmed because there was that break of conversation between him, Ned, and MJ and the Doctor Strange thing. So when we get to this, because from this point, it's like energy. And man, I tell you, even I seen the commercials.
Of course.
Didn't matter. When Doc Ock came out popping, Alfred Molina it was like he stepped out of 2004.
Like, he time traveled. He time
traveled and came right out of 2004 as the same person.
The scene, his opening scene where like the tentacle arms like going through the ground and stuff like that, and you can feel the energy.
Yeah.
And it's definitely different from the other two movies, from Homecoming and Far From Home, because you can feel how powerful that these villains are. And we'll get into our other villains.
Yeah.
And like with Doc Ock, and it was just great. And I'm also so happy that Disney was able to keep his tone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From episode 2 and not making him too funny. He was still serious.
He was the same cat.
He was serious the whole time, pretty much.
He was the same person.
Very strong.
They did a great job of maintaining
So happy.
exactly who he was.
Yeah.
And then the fight scene between them, man, was awesome.
Awesome.
It was a great fight scene. Well done, well written, well choreographed. Alfred Molina was doing his part, stunt double, whatever, but he was doing his part when he was there.
and he had and the nanotech scene was cool.
Yeah. See, the nanotech scene fooled me from the trailers, because in the trailers you see his arm get red.
Yeah.
But here, I love when it says pairing. They just paired up with it. And it makes sense because this is 2023 technology compared to 2004 technology, and it's Tony Stark. So his stuff would be able to overtake that other stuff and control it. So no, it was cool. It was good to see.
Yeah, and like they're fighting some more, and he's like, I think he's like about to take him away, and then the interjection of Green Goblin,
perfect.
It was perfect. And I literally said, oh, come on, man. Because I was like, are they about to fight? Are they about to have like a double fight? Like the three of them fighting?
Yeah.
I would have loved, if even adding more things to this movie, if we could, a fight between Green Goblin and Doc Ock. That is something I needed right there. But we didn't get that because
it was just enough. It was just enough because it was going to be too much at that point. We was already on a roller coaster ride on the high. And then when they brought in, for me, it was like this. When I saw the ball from Green Goblin, I was like, wait a minute, what? We just came off the Doc Ock fight.
I know.
We didn't have a chance to breathe yet. But they cut, and it made sense to do it.
They cut it.
Yeah, they cut it. And you see that Doctor Strange, if you will, pulls him into this dungeon with these magic cages.
Mm-hmm. So I wanted to talk here about Doctor Strange. So yes, he takes them into these cages in the Sanctum Sanctorium. And I wanted to take this time to get your thoughts about Benedict Cumberbatch in this film, just his character and his role in the movie.
His role was good. His role was perfect. To be honest with you, I loved him in the role. He's kind of taking up a little bit of the mantle of Tony Stark a little bit, helping out the kid. And he brought it. I believed him as Doctor Strange. I don't see him as Benedict Cumberbatch. He's just Doctor Strange.
I see him as Doctor Strange.
He was awesome. The scene they had, and I don't know if you have this in your thing, the mirror.
Yeah, we'll talk about that too.
Okay, but yeah, he was as him as Doctor Strange in the movie. I thought it was good. It was just enough.
I definitely thought it was just enough, and his role in the movie was something that was needed, unlike Iron Man in the other movies where he was just kind of shoo-in. He was just kind of put in little cameo scenes, and I'm like, he didn't need to be here, and stop with this whole helping him thing. This was like, I'm helping you because like it's hurting other people, or I gotta help you at the end, because the universe is breaking. So let's, I'm here for a reason. But he wasn't in it too much. I was scared that he was gonna be like his sidekick kind of thing, and it wasn't like that.
Yeah, me too. I didn't want that to happen, and the indications didn't from the trailers and just the stuff we was hearing, it didn't seem like it was going to be that. But yeah, I was glad that Doctor Strange was pulled out of the movie as long as he was, so Spider-Man could be Spider-Man, right? Yeah,
Right.
So
Exactly. And so yeah, we get. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Before we go to so that was Act 1 of the movie, and so before we get to Act 2, I wanted to let y'all know that Super Chat is on. Make sure to subscribe, give us a like. This took a lot of time to put together this little slideshow for y'all. But yeah, so now we're going to get into Act 2. I just love this. Let's just talk about that. Act 1, starting from just getting to know that he is now Spider-Man, meeting Doc Ock, Green Goblin, and now we have our villains. We get to the Sanctum Sanctorum, and I loved Lizard's intro. It was like him lurking in the background.
Yeah.
That was really good.
Yeah,
But-
he looks good, man. They did the justice and everything, and they didn't show us how he got caught. He was already there,
Yeah.
which is good, I guess, because again, they didn't want to be too much things going on. But no, it was cool.
I didn't love the CGI for this is the CGI from Andrew Garfield. I couldn't find the one from No Way Home.
Yeah.
But I didn't love it. I'm like, it's kind of different. It felt different, but I was fine with it. Ultimately, the voice for it was really good, was really well done because it's not the original actor, just like Sandman. I'm pretty sure.
You don't think so?
No, because why wouldn't they just be in the movie? Why wouldn't you just act?
Well, at the end they were.
We'll talk about that once we get there.
Okay.
We'll talk about it once we get there. But I'm pretty sure it was not the same actors because when we get to Sandman, his voice was not.
No, that's his voice.
Until we got to the.
No.
We'll talk about it.
That was his voice because I know that guy's voice.
Yeah.
I know it for a long time because he used to be on this show called Wings. I watched that show for like 10 years. I know Thomas Hayden Church's voice like very well. So that was his voice.
I don't know why they didn't act in the movie.
They did. He was a Sandman. He didn't need to act, come and be a person. At the end, after his sand came off, that was him sitting there.
It was not him.
Unless they CGI'd it or something.
We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it when we get there.
But yeah. Sorry. We meet Lizard. What do we think of Lizard? And then Doctor Strange explains that Peter needs to find the others, and he gives him like this little like
magic armband thing, whatever.
Yes,
it's called the magic armband.
Magic armband, yeah, pretty much. And he goes and meets Electro and Sandman.
Look at you with the online stills.
I know we don't have. This movie came out 2 days ago, so we don't have enough.
I know.
stuff.
No, it looks good. Looks good. Listen, man, when it was so cool. You know what's so trippy about it? What trippy about it? It didn't hit. This is how immersed I was in this movie. The power lines didn't even jump in my brain, right? We're out there with all these power lines. Yeah. So how else would you introduce Electro, right? But, so usually I can always know what's going to happen in the movie. I was so immersed in what was happening that the power lines didn't even like come to my brain like, oh, here comes Electro. We just see a little bit of the sand coming and stuff like that. I saw
Sandman first, yeah.
Yeah, and then when Electro, and Jamie Foxx comes in, Electro starts to come in, man. I was like, oh,
the
snap.
music.
Yeah,
they played his music from Andrew Garfield's, specifically Hans Zimmer's, and he was still blue, and it was just the CGI for this was really good.
Yeah,
and Jamie Foxx was really just I loved it. I just loved it.
Jamie Foxx. I like how he played it this way than how he played it in The Amazing Spider-Man. Because in Amazing Spider-Man, he had the buck tooth, the comb over. He was goofy guy. And then when he became Electro, he was different. He was sharper.
Right.
Well, he was the same. It's just that now he didn't have the blue skin. I think that was kind of wacky. I didn't mind the blue skin in The Amazing Spider-Man.
Me neither, yeah.
I thought it was fine. Some people didn't like it. But here you got to see Jamie Foxx and you get to have his swagger and everything. And he's able to pull himself together. In a different look, and he looked different, and he was more quibby. He had more quibs and quick remarks for you. Yeah, and it was funny. He was really just being Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx as a superhero.
He was Jamie Foxx with powers. Is that what he was? So
yeah. No, I love Jamie Foxx as Electro, and then we also get Sandman, and Sandman is wanting to help, and then I don't know if I don't remember if he takes his mask off or something, and he's like, "You're not Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Yeah.
Goodbye."
Yeah. It was good. That was a good intro scene. And then, Peter decides to stick around to fix all the power lines because I don't get blamed for this again.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not having it.
Nah, I'm not having it. And they ain't coming after me. That was a good scene.
Yeah, exactly. And after this happens, we go back. He finally traps them, yes, and we go back to the Sanctum Sanctorium, and Peter gets a call from Aunt May saying, "Hey, I know one of the guys that you're looking for is with me." And Peter's like, "What?" And so he goes, and we get introduced to
Where's Aunt May?
Yeah, where's Aunt May? And we get introduced to Feast, which is Food Emergency Aid Shelter, which has been which was very prevalent in the Spider-Man games. And so if you don't know what it is a homeless shelter owned and operated by Martin Lee in Marvel's Spider-Man series. It serves as a place of employment for May Parker, and it's also where Miles Morales volunteers. The shelter's main base is in Chinatown, New York. So this, just me saying all of those words right now, so many Easter eggs in that.
Yeah.
So Martin Lee, as some of y'all may know, he is known as Mr. Negative from the video game, and that's another villain there.
Yeah.
And then Miles Morales volunteers there, so we might get more Feast in future endeavors. I don't know.
You know, Marvel does a great job of laying groundwork for something that may happen 5 years from now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So they do. They always put something in, letting you know, shh, it's coming.
It's coming. Just wait. Just be patient.
Just give me a minute.
And it's for those super fans because other people might have missed that. Like,
Yeah.
oh well,
I missed it. I missed
see,
it. Yeah. I missed it. Seriously.
But like for the super fans, we'll hold on to that. We're like, okay,
I'll
see
see
you.
you later. Yeah.
All right,
yeah.
thank
Yeah.
you. Like, you know.
Yeah.
So I was very happy that they brought in that.
Yeah.
And then we do get to see Aunt May, and we're introduced to William Dafoe as Norman Osborn, aka Green
I'll tell you what,
Goblin.
he was my favorite villain out of everybody.
Yeah. Period. In this movie,
he brought what he brought from the original Spider-Man in back in 2000, 2001, whatever it was. He brought it. When William Dafoe came on screen, when he was able to switch between Norman Osborn and the Green Goblin, I believed him.
Yeah.
Like I believe this guy's crazy. I mean, I was afraid of him. I was like, this guy is crazy.
Yeah.
Like
William
he's
Dafoe's
probably
able
crazy
to do
on
it.
screen.
Right? No, right? No. But he did I loved William Dafoe in this movie.
Loved him. I'm glad he was the
best.
main villain.
Yes, and I think that I read somewhere, I don't know if it was you told me or I read somewhere where he was like, I would like to come back to Spider-Man No Way Home, but I want to have a bigger role. I want to have a big role, and he did get that.
Yeah, he was the main.
Oh
villain.
my gosh,
he was the main villain.
He was
out of all, and it was packed of villains. It was packed with villains, but he stood out of all of them.
Out of all of them for sure. Yeah. So Peter Parker brings back William Dafoe to Norman Osborn. Back to Doctor Strange, and Doctor Strange is like, okay, thanks. I'm gonna trap you. And Peter Parker's like, okay, what's going on now? And so Peter Parker decides Doctor Strange is like, we need to send them back to their universes.
Right.
And I really like this scene. I didn't put a picture for it, but I really liked this scene where the villains are talking to each other. Because I didn't even think about it how, like, Sandman, Norman, and Doc Ock all know each other.
Right.
But they just never interacted.
Right.
And so Doc Ock had to be like, you died. And Sandman had to be like, well, you died. You know, like, you know what I mean? So they like kind of, I just love that, you know? And then also Lizard had to talk to Electro and be like,
yeah, you died.
Or Electro had to talk to Lizard and be like, yeah, you're dead, my guy.
All y'all are dead.
Like, exactly.
Yeah.
So I really like that scene.
This scene was good, and it was a good way for them to say, okay, this is how we're going to try to save them.
Yeah.
This is plot hole number one. This is plot hole number one. But I went with it. I went with it. I'm just telling you, this is plot hole number one. I'll tell you why. So, okay. His theory of saving everybody and sending them back, as admirable as that is, it's flawed. If they don't fulfill who they are in their worlds they are, other things in those worlds won't be what they need to be. You can't all of a sudden send William Dafoe back.
I actually have a point.
And then if he goes back, Spider-Man's not gonna be the Spider-Man he is now.
Yeah.
He's gonna be a different Spider-Man.
Literally, yes, actually. Because so Spider-Man makes them good again, sends them back. The TVA is gonna show up and be like, bye. You're gone.
Well, that's
reset.
that's a different universe though. TVA
Is
is
it?
about time within this universe. I don't even know if they work in the multiverse. Do they?
Yes, technically, yes, because the multiverse of madness.
See?
The
Plot
TVA
holes.
is like, you know what? Bye.
Plot holes. Plot
Like
holes.
you.
Plot holes.
Would he talk? I don't know if the TVA. This would. I know. Yeah, it is. The
Plot
MCU is about to be a whole thing of
It's a
plot holes.
mess.
Because why did the TVA show up to Tom and be like, "Yo,
Yeah,
Tom,
yo.
so we're gonna have a conversation." Because
so-
what is this?
That's what I'm saying. This is just plot hole number
Wait,
one.
no, the TVA isn't a thing anymore because of
aren't they?
Loki.
Oh, maybe you're right.
Yo, I gotta break this down.
But forget about the TVA.
yeah,
Their
Still plot holes.
universes
Still,
are just going to be different. And I'll tell you the next plot hole later. But this is plot hole one. I'll tell you plot hole two.
Oh,
Yeah, it's part of the show. I got to tell you the plot holes. But it's still good, though. I still enjoyed it. Keep going.
So yes, when Spider-Man is like figures out that Doctor Strange is gonna send them back, he's like,
steals
all right,
the box.
no. He's like steals the box and he's like, no, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna save them. And this was a really well done scene, bringing in stuff from Doctor Strange in the movie.
Yeah.
Like the CGI and like the mirror dimension.
Yeah.
And like,
This scene was awesome right here. Why do you think, I have a theory about this, but why do you think while Peter was separated from his body, Doctor Strange couldn't take the box from him? I have a theory.
I say it's spider sense.
That's what I think, too.
Yeah, I'm like,
I think his spider sense, even though he's separated from his body, his spider sense is
It's still, like, active.
Yeah, right. That's what I was
and
thinking.
yeah, that
Because Doctor Strange was like,
cool. He's like, this should not be possible.
This should not be possible.
And it's just showing how Spider-Man is getting stronger. I still hate that it took him so long to get his spider sense, but I get it, whatever. But they did so much in this movie. I've always loved spider sense.
Yeah, spider sense.
And they did it so much in this movie.
You know why you like spider sense, right?
Because it's like the Force.
It's the Force.
It's the Force. I love it.
It's the Force.
Exactly.
It's the
So
Force. The Force
use
is
it more.
strong in this one.
yeah, and I liked this scene. And it was really funny how Peter Parker was like, "This is just math."
yeah. The mirror. I love it when they were chasing and Doctor Strange pulls them. I love the Mirrorverse. I loved it from the first Doctor Strange.
Yeah, for sure.
I loved the mirror world. And so he pulls them in, and this is my world. I control this. And it's so cool how they were running around the place, stuff are falling. I always loved that stuff since Inception, too, because Inception did the same thing. It's just cool how they bend the city and turn it. You can run sideways. I love it. It's a beautiful visual.
Yeah.
And then Peter Parker's like, wait a minute. This is just math. This divided by this by pi. I was like, all right, you lost.
I was like, but that's what I've loved about Peter Parker. That's Peter Parker.
That's Peter Parker.
Peter Parker's not.
Yeah.
It's being smart and like figuring things out, and then you put that with Spider-Man. Spider-Man's like the strength and stuff like that, and all the superpower. Then Peter Parker is like the smarts, and you put it together.
Yeah, Peter Parker's always been a genius. So
yes, and they did great with that. Moving on to. Yes. Okay. So after that happens, Peter Parker's like, okay, so now I got rid of Doctor Strange. We're gonna go back to Happy's, what was it called? Happy's apartment.
Condo. Yeah.
Yes. To talk about to figure out a serum, and I really like the scene as well. Everything was great. This movie was just great.
This movie was awesome.
Yeah. This scene is the scene that I've been waiting for Peter Parker, where he's like, okay, I gotta figure out how to make an antidote for all of these people, how to what am I gonna do?
Jamie Foxx wasn't with it though, man. I mean, Electro wasn't with it 100%.
Oh, yeah, the whole time.
He got there.
He saw
like,
that Arkin thing, and he was like, I want that.
He was like, as soon as he saw the arc reactor, he was like, oh man. He was like a crackhead in a that walked into a room full of cocaine.
Yeah.
So as soon as he saw Mom, this proves to pay attention in math class.
Yeah.
That's her comment. Pay attention in math class. Anyway, so as soon as we walk in there and Jamie Foxx feels the arc reactor, he wasn't with it before, and he for sure was not with it when he got there. He was just scared because MJ had the button, right? She could press the button. And so he was going along with it, and then, Dr. Octopus, he wasn't with it either. He was like, y'all gonna kill me with this nonsense. I'm not having it. Whatever your crazy experiment is, please don't touch me.
Right.
He wasn't having it. But Osborne helped him out. He helped build most of the stuff. When did you know Osborne was no longer Osborne?
The smile. When he was like, I don't know what smile he did, but I was like, that's not like,
yeah,
Dr.
Octopus, or Octavius, or you want to call him, he's, Osborne, man, we're doing good here. And he went, yeah. Like he's like, nah, we ain't, bro.
No, not anymore. I don't even know what triggered him, but he just kind of switched back to Green Goblin.
He says, I've been watching from behind Osborne's eyes. Been watching you guys the whole time you're weak.
And I do love how do I have a picture for this? I'm not sure. Yeah, Green Goblin is back as Green Goblin again. And so I do love how that scene played out, because I was like, so how are they going to be villains? Because I really don't want good guys. Like I didn't watch this movie to be good guys.
Right.
Like when they got to the apartment scene, I do love the apartment scene for the sciencey stuff. I love it for the Spidey sense, because that scene was really cool, Dad.
Yeah.
Because he, like, you can see the world. They do like a Zolly shot, and you see like the world come around him, and he's like, okay, something is wrong.
Yeah.
But I don't know who. And so he just kind of walks around. And everyone's like, what's going on? Like, are you good? Like, what's going on? And then he like gets
It was
good,
good, man.
That was a good scene.
That's a good scene. It was a good scene.
And yeah, we get Green Goblin back.
You start to fight, and they busted up the hall with Green. Man, I never realized how strong Green Goblin was. I mean, I know he was look at that face. I knew he was powerful. I knew he was powerful, but I didn't realize how strong he was, because he, Spider-Man lifts 3,000 pounds.
Right.
He's strong.
Yeah.
And he was just tossing Spider-Man around like a rag doll. I tell you what, though. I loved how they got rid of the mask and they just gave him the hood and the glasses.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah.
That was cool. Get rid of the old mask from back in the day. Mm-hmm. But they were fighting in that scene and tearing up the building, and Aunt May grabs the serum.
No, before we get there, I really need to get into this fight scene. This was the biggest thing I was worried about. Yeah. I was very worried about Green Goblin being played down.
Yeah.
Because in Spider-Man 1, he was very brutal with Tobey Maguire. So I was like, okay, are they gonna do that again, or are they just kind of like play him down, because he's supposed to be very brutal? And they dialed it up to 10. Yeah. And the punch scene where Spider-Man trying to punch him and he was just smiling.
He's just taking it.
I love that.
Keep punching me. I don't care.
He's like, I don't care. I'm very
crazy.
Strong. Yeah. And then, yes, we get to the point where Aunt May gets the serum and runs up to try to save her son. She runs down the hallway.
She's going down the stairs, and she's like, I'm out of here with the serum. I thought she was going to stab him with it at first, but no, she just runs with it. Mm-hmm. And at first I thought to myself, well, is this thing done? Are they done making the serum? But anyway, she ran with it, and she was gone. And then they were fighting through the buildings, and then Doc Ock took off, and then Jamie was like, nope, pulls the stuff off him, I'm out. And then, of course, Connor was down in the truck like, and hear it, now it begins. He was just waiting. He was waiting for something to go up crazy.
He's like, I don't need to go up there.
Nah, I ain't going up there for what? This ain't going to work.
I already know it. So
he was like, for what? This ain't working, so I'm not coming up there. You know what? Call me when you got it finished.
Yeah, call me when y'all finish. I'm going to chill here. And so he's like, and it begins,
And it begins, and he just takes off out of the truck, and man, and then the next couple scenes are just really powerful.
Yes, so we get to Aunt May here.
Whew. This was a powerful scene. And and this just shows you how savage the Green Goblin is.
Yeah.
Norman Osborne, or Green Goblin, what you want to call him, is irredeemable in my situation. He was savage. Here it is, Aunt May just standing here, man.
Yeah.
And he looks at her. He says to Spider-Man, she's making you weak.
Oh my gosh.
He's like, she's making you weak. And I'm going to remove this weakness from your life.
Oh my gosh.
He just throws the grenade, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to make you strong.
I don't care.
I'm going to make you strong.
That's a villain. Not all villains are supposed to be moral. Some villains are just
Some
chaos.
people just crazy.
And so that is what Green Goblin is. Norman, no, but Green Goblin is chaos. So he's like, throw it.
He's the Joker of this universe.
Right, exactly. People want him to be
Joker of this universe.
But yeah. So they get hit with the bomb, and I'm like, okay. And she seems to be okay, like, because she's getting up, she's talking.
Yeah, I know she wasn't gonna be okay.
And I wish that she gave him the lecture of, they finally say it, with great power comes great responsibility. Yep. And I wish it would have hit more for me if she had always given him lectures. But I'm pretty sure this is the first one she's ever given him.
Well, that we've seen, right?
That we've seen.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. What we've seen, because with our other Aunt Mays, they talk to Peter Parker all the time.
Yeah, but she was young, hip Aunt May. Those other Aunt Mays were old.
No, I feel like once every movie, she could have been like, "Hey, you're gonna be okay."
She did say stuff from another movie. I forget what it was, but she did have talks with him. Nothing long, like in the original Tobey Maguire one was like Jesus. She was talking him to death.
We love her,
but yeah, we did. But she did, and if you go back to the other movies, I remember her talking to him about responsibilities and doing the right things and all that kind of good stuff in the Spider-Man movies. It wasn't long stuff that you remember because the movies themselves weren't that great. You know what I'm saying? This was a more powerful, it's shocking that it's the same director. It's the same director.
Yeah,
but it could not have been the same writers. I don't care what anybody says. The writers have to be different because this was written totally different.
Or Kevin Feige was on set or something the whole time.
Something was different with this one.
Yeah.
But the way this was written, and that scene was powerful. But I knew she was gonna die because they needed to have a reason for the ending, and they need to have a reason for us to have more stakes in what was happening. But it was powerful, man. It was a powerful scene, and and we always needed to hear this. I mean, we never heard the line "With great power became great responsibility." We always assumed that Uncle Ben said it to him back when he first got his powers, because they never gave us an original story, which, by the way, we're happy for. Right. They never gave us an original story for this, but no, she said it to him.
She said it to him. I like that because it's like different universes as well, so different things can happen, and yeah, the death scene was sad. It was like he lost Aunt May.
Yeah. I'm
just not too connected to her, so it didn't like I wasn't
it wasn't her,
sad,
right?
Sad,
it's not her that you were connected. How they did it was, you're not when you have death in a movie, it's not necessarily the person that died that draws it from you, unless that person was a main character, like you're saying. What hurts you in this movie is Peter.
Yeah.
Right. You look at Peter and because he loves Aunt May. So when you look at Peter's face and the way Tom Holland used his face, you feel for Tom. Not that you cared about Aunt May.
Right.
Like you said, she was a very small character. If it was the Tobey Maguire.
Oh my gosh.
Remember when she got blown out the window from the Goblin?
Yeah.
And everybody was like, whoa, because she was more integral in the movie. This Aunt May, Marissa Tomei, was not. So it was Peter's energy that caused the sadness in it. But it wasn't a big tearjerker because, you didn't lose anything from Aunt May.
Right. Yeah. It was a good scene.
It was. Then Happy shows up. He's all...
Yeah, the thing is, from the trailers, I thought Happy was going to die.
Now, and then Happy shows up, and then, like I told you before, the reason why they broke him up, because if they weren't broken up, that would have stole Peter's shine in that moment. Because if they were in love, like there was in some deep love thing, Happy would have ran over there and they would have killed the Peter Parker thing. So they had to find a way to say, okay, we can't have Happy, and so that's why they broke him up. So abruptly, right?
Abruptly, yes.
They broke up.
You're broken up. You're done.
So, anyway, but no, it was good. It was good.
So before we get to so that was the end of Act 3. I mean, Act 2.
Crazy.
A great ending to Act 2. And so now we're about to get into Act 3.
My favorite act.
The biggest act, guys. Make sure the super chat is on. Subscribe. Give us a like because we're about to get into the big stuff now.
Yeah, the big stuff.
This is the real stuff now.
The tear-jerking stuff too, man.
So after the death of Aunt May, Peter is gone. He's done.
He's lost.
He's lost. So MJ and Ned are like, what are we going to do? Should I just press the button? And Ned is like, no, I just wish I could see Peter. And he accidentally opens a portal. And she's like, no, MJ. No, sorry, I'm just really excited right now.
You don't have a problem with this, but keep going. This is plot hole number 2, but keep going.
MJ is like, try that again. I'm really hurt right now. MJ's like, try that again. And so he's like, all right, I wish I just could see Peter.
Yeah.
This was such a good intro.
The intro's off the chain.
Because the thing is, Dad, I was like, when he opened it, I was like, okay, Tom Holland. Cool.
There's Tom Holland.
I was like, come on, Tom Holland.
I was, because, I'm enthralled in the movie. I'm not thinking about surprises. I'm just thinking, here's Tom Holland. But then as I saw him coming towards, I was like, he's
a little bit too tall.
He's too tall.
He's too tall. Your head is a little bit different.
Yeah, he's too tall.
And
the way he was, because it was CGI. It was a CGI.
Right.
But he was too tall. I was like, this ain't Tom Holland.
And he was doing his sideways walk that he does. And we get an introduction to Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man.
Who should, by the way, Andrew Garfield should get an Academy Award for his acting about him not being in this movie.
I know, it's so funny. He was literally, I am so mad at everybody. He's literally perfect.
Yeah.
Andrew Garfield, I love Andrew Garfield. I've loved him since 2014. He's the most perfect person on this planet. And his acting outshined everybody. I'm not sorry.
Listen, gotta say it. Andrew Garfield outacted everybody in this movie. Outacted.
He isn't a phenomenal
This is why
actor.
Andrew Garfield is a Academy Award level actor, right? He got a Academy Award nomination for Social Network
And Hacksaw Ridge.
and Hacksaw Ridge.
Yeah.
Did he win the Hacksaw Ridge one?
No, he just got
He didn't
that
win it. Okay, so you can see why he got nominated for those for Academy Awards because the guy outacted everybody.
Outacted everybody.
He used his face and his. Anyway, keep going.
Yes, and I loved his intro. I loved how he had to prove he was Spider-Man. I do also love that he was already in his suit.
Yeah.
Different when comparing to our other intro. And then it was just like he got right back in the suit. And the thing is the reason why when Ned opened the portal and I was like, that's gonna be Tom Holland, was because when I was thinking about Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire being in these movies, I was like, they're gonna come in the last 10 minutes, or they're gonna come in for like a cameo and leave.
You and I talked about this before. We were hoping that they didn't come in. It was just gonna be some 5-minute, hey kid,
bye.
Hey, get over Aunt May, and then they're gone.
I would have murdered everybody. I would have been like, come on, you bring up all this hype.
They had a significant role in the movie. Had a significant role. When he came in, and then she was like, "You're not Peter Parker." He's like, "Yeah, I'm Peter Parker." "You're not." And she's like, he's like, "I am. I'm proving." He jumps and sticks to the ceiling. She's like, "Well, that doesn't prove anything." I'm like, "Yo, what do you?"
You stick to the ceiling.
I'm like, what do you want me to do?
I'm wearing a tailored skin tight suit, and I stuck to the wall. What else do you need?
What do you want? What do you want?
And so he crawled and stuff like that. He was just being his quirky self. And then MJ's like, "Okay, well, that's not our Peter. Let's try a different one." And then Ned does it again, and we get our introduction to Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire, much more seasoned Spider-Man. He was the wise uncle Spider-Man, if you will, that comes in, that he's been seasoned. He's been doing it for a while.
Yeah, I've done this for a while.
Yeah, you guys are kids.
He had his regular clothes on. The thing is, you come from a different universe. Oh, I guess if he came from a different universe, already in his clothes. I was thinking that he came in the universe with his suit on, and then he was like, "Let me just find some clothes."
No. He came with his clothes on. He had his spider suit underneath.
I just feel like I just know, like for Tobey Maguire's character, it's just like, oh, I got pulled into another universe. All right, like I'm old. I don't care. Let me just figure this one out.
And Peter Parker is smart because Andrew Garfield, Peter Parker, knew. He knew.
Yeah.
He did the math. He was like, "So quantum displacement of matter."
Yeah.
I knew it, and I was like, "These nerds."
My nerds. I love him. I love him so much.
Yeah, it was good.
Yes, and I love the initial interaction between Andrew and Toby was like they did this flip at the same time, and it was like the same flip.
Yeah.
Which shows like different universes but same person. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
And I really like that, and I did like how he was in his normal clothes, and
looking like a youth pastor.
Right. And I did want to mention their ages because you said it earlier. And the thing is, according to like some article, Tom is 17, Andrew's 27, and Toby's 37. So it's 10-year differences between all three of them.
Look like that to me. He looked a lot older than me.
20. So Andrew
Tobey Maguire
Garfield
looks like he was in his 40s.
No, yeah. Toby is in his 40s.
Yeah.
And Andrew's in his 30s.
Yeah.
But
But
and
Spider-Man wise, I guess
yeah.
he's 37, but still, he sounds a little older. Even anyway, whatever. All right.
He's had a rough life.
Rough
It's
patch.
been rough for him.
Rough patch.
Yes.
All right.
But yes. So now, since we have our new Spider-Mans, MJ's like, okay, we need to go find Tom.
Right.
We need to go find Tom. And this movie was just perfect, Dan.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good scene. It was a good scene. When he went to the roof and he was ready to push the button, and they show up and they come. He was like, "What? What's?" Because his spider sense kicked in again.
Yeah, he was like, "What's going on?"
Yeah, they jumped off the whatever.
Yes, but they jumped.
Yeah, they
down.
came down, and he's like, "What's going on here?" Anyway, it was a good scene, touching scene, very emotional. And then they was like, "Yeah, I lost my man," and I like how they did when Tom Tobey Maguire said, I lost Uncle Ben.
Yeah.
And then Andrew Garfield said, I lost Gwen. Because if he had said, I lost Uncle Ben too,
too, like-
then it would have been weak, right? Because, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But he lost, and then he put Gwen in it. And that was a good scene, man. That was a good scene.
Yeah, and again, you just see Andrew Garfield's acting when he's like crying about her still.
Andrew Garfield stole that scene, man.
Stole it.
I felt his emotion and energy more than I felt anybody else. When we get to lay it down in the talk about that one thing with him and Zendaya, you know what I'm talking about. But right there, again, it was like, Andrew got this scene too.
And,
every scene he was in with them, it was his scene.
He got it. It was his him. Scene. And it just gave it justice because for the people that were just like, oh, Andrew wasn't good enough. And it's like, no, it's because the directors. Okay.
The second movie was good. I have no problem with Amazing Spider-Man 2. I don't know what people had a problem with that for.
I don't know either.
It was fine to me. But anyway, whatever.
But yeah, this was a great scene and it was definitely needed. I love the slowdown. Instead of just going from introducing these two characters to the science scene, we get this buffer of like, we all have an understanding. We all have trauma.
Right.
You're gonna be okay though, because the thing is with the whole 10-year difference, they all been through stuff and they've all learned from it. So now they're like, okay, we're gonna teach you how to go through this kind of stuff.
Because Toby was like, I had a lot of rage, and no, it wasn't Andrew who said that. I think it might have been Andrew who said that. I had a lot of rage after what's her name's death, and that wasn't healthy. And then of course MJ's still together, Tobey Maguire, because he was talking about MJ and. It's working out. It's complicated or something.
Oh yeah, because he always says that. Oh my god, it's complicated. Like I think it was like episode 2 or part 2 or something like that.
It was good.
It was good.
It was good.
Yes, and so after this scene, this really touching scene, they become Science Brothers.
Oh my gosh.
I love it.
This is a classic from the 70s or 80s, I think it might have even been. Classic Spider-Man shot. Now they redid it with somebody redid it with the right suits, but that shot is classic shot that when Spider-Man met other Spider-Man and he was doing the same pointing thing. So when they did it, when he said Peter Park, he said Peter, yes, You know, the other Peter. We're all Peters.
We're all Peters. We're all Peters.
Peter Parker. Yeah, we're all Peter
This is
Parker.
Peter Parker.
So that was so.
Yeah.
It was fan service. It was a little wink, a nod to all the fans that seen this for years.
Yeah.
And it was a nice little comic relief. What I liked about the comedy in this, it was just enough laughs. Mm-hmm. It wasn't overbearing and silly. It was enough. It was good.
Yeah.
The humor as what would happen in real life.
Right, exactly.
You're making light of something serious that's happening. So, it was good.
Yeah, this scene was great too because it again shows Peter Parker, and that is something definitely I needed because we see Andrew and Toby as Spider-Man in the beginning, like when they're introduced. But I wanted to see them also as Peter Parker. Right. And so in this scene, we get to see them Peter Parker trying to figure out the serums. Oh, I know Doc Ock. I know Green Goblin, so I know what to do.
Yeah.
I know Lizard. I know Electro. I got you.
I like how they did Toby because he was like, I know how to fix this because I've been thinking about this for years, right? Because it happened to Norman, and then it happened to his son, right?
Right.
They both took the serum.
Yeah.
So he's like, and they both died,
right?
Because of me or from some action that I did. So, and it's true in life because if that did really happen to somebody who's a scientist, you're never going to stop thinking about that serum.
Right.
You're going to always be thinking about, I'm a scientist. There's a way to fix this. I've had years to think about it. So that made sense to me that he's had all these years to think about how to fix this. And yeah, he did. So it was narratively beautiful.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, this is the perfect photo for this. Then we move on to pretty much we get right. I kind of like getting towards the end. I kind of forgot what happens next. And so I was like, they just go to the fight scene, right? They just kind of go to, after they make their serums, they go to the Statue of Liberty, which is now S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah. Anyway, well, before we get to that, so what he decides to do is he goes on Jay Jonason's show to reach out to these guys. So look, you know where to find me. Yeah. Here's where I'm going to be. I need all the help from the city I can, but we've got to stop these guys. It's my fault that they're here. And Jay Jonas says, "You admit it." You're a menace. So,
Oh my gosh.
and then that's when he goes out, to the Statue of Liberty area, which they're putting up a shield of. This is sacrilegious. They're putting up a shield of Captain America
Yep.
on the Statue of Liberty. Now, the reason why they did this in the movie is they just wanted to have scaffolding.
Yep. Yeah.
They just wanted to have scaffolding out there. So how do we get scaffolding out here?
I
So that's
got
what they did, all right? So, and then, of course, they destroyed it because they're not going to put no damn shield on the Statue of Liberty. Jesus. Anyway. But no, so that's when they get out there. And the first person, then they all come out there looking for him. Mm-hmm. Who's the first person that got? It was Sandman.
It was they had Lizard and Sandman, I think. And
they got them first.
The thing is, okay, so before they kind of fight, I love the interactions between Toby and Andrew.
Yeah.
It's funny where like he's breaking his back. He's like,
like
kind of old now.
Just which is really true. Tobey Maguire has a really bad back.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah,
he has serious back pains for years, and it was cool. Sometimes my back, all this swinging and stuff, and then Andrew's taller than him.
Right.
Andrew's like a foot taller than him or something.
Know. Yeah.
He picks him up and he's like, oh yeah, that feels good. Now the little quibs, the little comedy in it is perfect. And then what I really like was smart. What they did is you couldn't tell them apart after a while. Because all of flying around and like, look, I'm Spider-Man 1, you're Spider-Man 2, and you're Spider-Man 3. And they actually did it out of order. Because Tom Holland is Spider-Man 3.
Yes.
Tobey Maguire is Spider-Man 1.
Right.
And Andrew Garfield is Spider-Man 2, but they put them out of order. So it was cool to do that, right?
And Andrew Garfield and I just love Andrew Garfield in this because he was commenting about how everyone thinks he's the least Spider-Man. Right. And he was like, no, I'm not amazing. And Tobey Maguire had to be like, you are amazing. You are. No, like, I need you to say it.
You are amazing.
I guess. and then when Tom Holland's like, you're Spider-Man 3, he's like, yeah, I guess I'm Spider-Man 3. I guess I'm 3rd. I just thought it was so great.
No, they did good with that, man. It was good fan service, man. It was so cool. It was so cool. When they all put their mask on and swang around and they dropped together, I want that poster.
I want that poster.
I want that poster. Like they got to make that a poster. If they don't make it a poster, I'm making it a poster.
That is 3 generations. Yeah. Just thinking about that. 3 generations of Spider-Man coming together to do this movie.
Yeah, it was cool, man. It was cool. It was cool watching it.
Yeah.
I can't wait to watch it here in an hour.
Like we have an hour about to go watch it. And Statue of Liberty, they fight, they have their quips. Great relationship between the 3 Spider-Man. Their chemistry was great. It's like
awesome.
they were always doing this.
Yeah. Chemistry was awesome between them. Yeah.
And then they finally defeat all it kind of like the ending kind of wraps up pretty quickly, but I'm fine with it. Like
no, it was good. It was good. It wasn't too long. It was good fights. You couldn't fight you couldn't have long fight scenes with all 5 of these characters or 4 of these characters because Doc was already changed. So they had to do some wrap up with a couple of them. And then we see the scene that they showed in Brazil where the lizard's head goes back. And we were like, come on, yo. Y'all did that on purpose.
We knew it.
We all knew Spider-Man was in this. And then, so they got rid of Lizard pretty quickly in Sandman. But back to Norman Osborn.
No, wait. Before we get to that, Electro tries to do something.
Electro, that's right. Jamie Foxx.
And that's when Doc Ock comes in and he's like, skirt. I thought Doc Ock was going to be bad. And I was like, yes, Doc Ock versus Toby again. But then
No. He grabbed him and he knocked him out of it and stuck the thing on his chest. Mm-hmm. But then here comes, you know what's crazy? Ned couldn't get the portal closed. Anyway.
Oh, yeah, you didn't talk about your Easter.
My plot hole?
Yeah.
How does Ned automatically not open a portal?
It just comes to you.
Yo, it took like Doctor Strange. It took Doctor Strange when we watched the movie.
A couple of weeks.
Forever. But you know what? There's prodigies and everything, right? So maybe Ned's a prodigy. So you know what?
He's a prodigy, Dad.
I'll forgive this plot hole. I'll forgive this plot hole that he just automatically knows how to open a portal. But yeah, so they couldn't get the portal closed. And then, what was it? Was it the lizard that went in there to get them? Yeah, it was the lizard that went in to get them. And then they ran into the Statue of Liberty area. This is, of course, had to happen. And after they got the lizard and the Sandman, MJ's out there. It was cool. And then this scene, man, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie. I had a tear in the scene.
Dad, you felt it? You felt it?
I felt it, dog. Listen, when MJ, and I knew this. I knew that she was gonna fall from the trailers.
The trailer, yeah.
I didn't know what was gonna happen after that though, because they don't show that. She fell, right? And I knew he wasn't gonna catch her because they gotta redeem Andrew. And so I was like, nah, he's not gonna catch her. And then
Green Goblin comes in.
Green Goblin just knocks Tom Holland Spider-Man out of the way. And Andrew Garfield jumps off the rafters and catches her.
So fast, yeah. And
so he's like, no! Jumps off and catches her. And when he gets down, he just lets the emotional, like he's released.
Yeah.
Got me down. Because listen, so if you could, when you can get that kind of, because I don't cry in movies, when you can get that kind of emotion out of a movie, I gotta give you a 10. You pulled your acting. It's not real. This is a cartoon. Your acting in this cartoon pulled an emotion out of me as something really bad happened.
It was real bad.
It's real. It's real.
Yeah, I'm very, very glad that they did that scene and they had him catch her. That was the right thing to do, to have it where it was him.
Mom text, you need a hug.
It was just great that it was him and it was a good scene. It
was a good scene, man. I'm glad Andrew was able to come back and do it because he's so powerful with his face. You know, there's a few people that have face powers like that. What's his name? Chris Evans is one. Being able to use your face to show who you are without even having to act. For me, when you do that, you're a good actor. I believe you when I'm looking at you, right? Because your face says it. Yeah. And Andrew Garfield did it, and when he caught her and released it, I was like, all right, take me out, I'm done. Roll credits.
Roll credits,
I'm done. I don't need to see anything else.
And Green Goblin, yes, he takes Tom. This fight scene
was awesome.
Tom Holland was done. He was like, oh, you killed my aunt?
I didn't know if he was going to do the whole at the end. You know, sometimes in movies, the person comes down and they hit, you know, they're going to kill them with something. Yeah. And then they do it to the side of their face.
Right, yeah.
So I was like, okay, that's what he's going to do. Nah, bro.
No, that punch into that steel, he dented it like it was nothing.
He was listen, whatever chance you had, is done.
You're done. You had a chance to run away, but you decided to come back. You're done.
I'm killing you right here, right now.
Yeah, and he fights him. He's blah, blah. He's able to get him down because he's using his full strength this time.
And then here's why Green Goblin, this one scene's made, this just locks it up. Green Goblin says, and I quote,
oh my gosh.
I quote, I may have been the instrument that killed her, but you caused her death.
Oh my gosh, dude.
I may have been the knife. I may have been the gun. But you pulled the trigger.
You could have sent me back.
Dog. When he said that?
Yeah. And
Give this man an Oscar right now, because I was mad at him.
He was ready to kill him.
Oh, he was hot.
And it just shows the generational differences. Because when he picked up the glider, he was going to stab him, but Toby stops him.
Toby stopped him. He's like, you don't want to do this.
And Toby was thinking, like, I wish I could have saved him back then because I knew that this wasn't Norman.
Right.
But I just kind of, he had the Spidey sense and he still flipped over and jumped.
He still flipped over. He didn't grab the glider.
He didn't grab it. He could have done something, but he flipped over it. And so he was thinking, I'm not going to have you have this burden like I do.
Right. You know, exactly
right. Held it, Dad. When he was holding
Green Goblin still stabbed him.
Still stabbed him. Like, come on.
Still stabbed him. Yeah, you saved me. I don't care. Ching! Still stabbed him.
But luckily he was okay. I thought he was going to die. I was like, are you really have Tobey Maguire dying?
I thought they killed him. I was like, why are you killing him? Because this doesn't make sense. But he didn't die.
He didn't die. He was like, I got stabbed out of him.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't kill him because we already had the one emotional scene.
Yeah.
So you're already emotionally drained from the first one.
Right.
You don't need two. That's just over. That just makes you wary of the movie now. But no, they didn't kill him, so it was perfect. Whoever wrote this, like I said, the person that wrote it and directed it understood how to control emotion. Because there's something in movies called fatigue. If the fight scene is too long, you could be like, all right,
come on, man.
Like in Transformers, right? It's so
John
long.
Wick 3. I'll never forget me in that theater being like, yo, all right, we get it. You're ready to get with guns.
Yes, there is fatigue in emotions. And you have to know how to go up and down in emotions. A lot of people think, oh, I want to see 20-minute, 30-minute fight scene. You think you want to see a 30-minute fight scene. You don't. They did the same thing in The Hobbit Part 2 or Hobbit Part 3, whatever it was. It was Hobbit Part 3. They had a fight scene that was 25 minutes long. And I remember thinking to myself, good God.
Okay, we get it.
We get it. You're going to win or not. I mean, how long are you going to fight for? So you got to understand flows of emotion. And it was perfect how they did not kill Toby because it would have been too much. You already gave me Aunt May. You already gave me the Peter save. Right. I can't have this other emotion now, right? I'll be fatigued. So, no, it was beautiful. It was beautifully laid out, for sure.
Yeah, and I just love Green Goblin. And then finally we get to where Tom Holland's like, all right, I want everybody to forget me. I think this is the time.
Well, that was the way we could do it because Doctor Strange was like, hey, they're all coming through now. Because he blew up, Green Goblin, of course, blew up the box. The spell went out. Everybody's coming through. Yeah. You saw Rhino, like the original Rhino suit, though. Yeah. Not the mechanical one, like the original Rhino suit. I couldn't make out other people. The only person I made out was Rhino.
Yeah.
And he's like, they're all coming through. Everyone who knows Peter Parker. He's like, well, what if I erase Peter Parker? So, no, it was good. That part was good. And then, of course, he did the spell, and he tells MJ, she's like, just come find me wherever you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we get to that scene, I did want to talk about this.
Yeah.
Did want to talk about these two characters because you were like, they came back. And I'm like, no, they didn't, Dad. Mm-hmm. They used old footage. I watched, the thing is, it just shows how much I've seen these movies way too much.
Yeah.
Because he looked the exact same. Also, here, they use like the same movement as they did. They just kind of like clipped it from their old movies and used it for the endings.
They could have.
And so I'm just kind of confused because, okay, with Sandman's voice.
I know the voice was the same.
That's the thing. Okay, with Sandman's voice, at the power line scene when he's first introduced, that voice sounded really weird. Mm. But then after that scene, it sounded like him.
Yeah.
So I was like, what's going on?
When we watch it again, well, we're probably not going to stay for the end credits again. But no, we're not. But maybe when we look at the ending, we'll see, because they were given the names. His name is Tom Hayden Church. I know him.
Yeah.
I don't know what his real name is.
Yeah.
So we have to look and see. But I'm telling you, that voice, unless they got some magical... And people can impersonate people, so it could be an impersonator. Mm-hmm. But man, why? He's not, he's not doing nothing.
It did sound like him. And then with this, with Amazing Spider-Man 1, they used that footage from when they have that serum, the antidote. Yeah. At the end when he's like turning back, it's the same movement, same motion. I'm pretty sure it's this. They just clipped it from the movie.
Yeah, I mean, why though? They could have shot it again.
I don't know.
I need you to come in.
Why weren't you be in the movie? I would love to see him in the movie.
For what? He was sad. He couldn't turn back.
That's fine.
In Sandman, in the movie, he could make himself look regular, right?
Yeah, he could. He could go back and forth. So that's why I was like, he's Sandman the whole time. I was like, all right.
Maybe they didn't want to do all that CGI, and they said, look, we're just gonna keep him in sand form and not have him. We don't need to. I don't need to pay you to come in for weeks, right? When I could just have you come into the end, or I don't even need you at all. Like you said, it could just be that the ending is a CGI version of it. Yeah. I just need your voice acting, right?
Am I getting paid the same though?
You don't get paid the same for voice acting.
Yeah, so like I want to be in it. Thanks. I want to be in it. Like,
who knows?
But yeah, that's how I felt about it. Quick thing, guys. Sorry that it's a little dark. The sun went away, and so I can't really fix my camera right now, but I can kind of fix Dad's. But it's getting dark. Anyway. Moving on. So yeah, Spider-Man is like, hey, erase me. I'm done. And he says his goodbyes. I love the goodbye between all the Spider-Man. They were bye, we're good. And
like, see you later.
And then they just kind of disappeared. And yes, he talks to MJ and he's like, I'm not going to remember you and stuff like that. And then I think some time passes. Is it like a month or so? I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't know what the time frame is, but there's definitely some time has passed. Yeah. He has a letter. He's walking towards the coffee shop, and he's has what he's gonna say. He gets to the coffee shop. For a split second, I will tell you, when Ned came into the coffee shop, I thought Ned was gonna kiss MJ or something like that, and I was like, that doesn't work.
I thought they were gonna be in a relationship, and I was about to be like, wow.
Yeah, that didn't work for me if that had happened, because the chemistry between them is not there. But they didn't do that. They kept them as friends, and that works better. Because what's his name? Ned has his girlfriend, the girl who's the news lady.
Are they even? I don't even know that.
They're a thing.
They have a thing.
They're a thing. Yeah, they got a thing. That works better for me than him and MJ. So, but no, this came as friends. They're both going to MIT, which is not a plot hole. But anyway, they both go to MIT.
Go ahead.
A lot of kids going to MIT out of this
Hey,
school.
they're smart.
There's a lot of kids.
It's the top school.
It's the hardest school to get in America, but you got like
3 kids going to MJ.
4, including Flash. 4 kids. What's the odds of 4 kids at the same school getting into MIT? I'm just saying. Whatever.
And yeah.
Whatever. Okay, I'll deal with it. I'll deal with it. It didn't take me out of the movie.
Right.
Okay. Anyway, so Peter shows up, and he's like talking to her, all nervous, doesn't know what to say, and he's about to read the thing to her, and she moves her hair, and he sees the cut. That's when he realized, yeah, she's better off without me.
She's better off, and it reminded me of Andrew Garfield when Gwen's dad is like,
Promise.
promise me, don't involve Gwen,
Right.
And he still did, and then
She
you saw the
died.
consequence. You saw the consequences of it,
Right.
And so, maybe on the side, Andrew Garfield had like another conversation with Tom, being like, "Hey, this isn't it, dude. Like, you don't do it."
Yeah, I don't know. Could have, but he saw it. I think he just saw it
And
and
was like,
realized that cut the cut didn't disappear because
Yeah.
you stopped knowing Peter Parker.
Yeah.
The cut is still there because you knew Peter Parker. So he made the choice what he made, and then he just left it. But I don't know how that's going to play in future movies because there's going to be more movies.
Gwen Stacy.
That's backwards though.
It's usually Gwen and then MJ.
It's always been Gwen then Mary J. He ends up with Mary J.
It's
But she's not Mary J though. She's what's her name?
Michelle Jones.
Michelle Jones, yeah.
So technically not Mary J.
Technically not Mary J.
So Michelle Jones, Gwen Stacy, Mary Jane. Oh, you call me MJ. I don't want to call you that. I pass.
Pass, hard pass.
But that's how the movie ends, right?
Yeah.
That's the ending of the movie. And it's just gonna be interesting to see what they do next with this character.
Yeah.
Do you think what do you think? Like, what do you think that they'll do next?
Well, I don't know. You saw the end credit scene, man, when Venom went back to his universe, which was a good end credit scene, right?
Mm-hmm.
Venom goes back to his universe and leaves a drop.
Yes.
A drop of the symbiote. So I was always wondering, I don't even know why I even questioned Kevin Feige. I should just show up, shut my mouth, and just don't even talk. I kept saying to myself, how are you going to have Spider-Man fight Venom and you've already made Venom a good guy? Why would all of a sudden Venom be a bad guy? Now we know.
What if it's Ned? What if Ned becomes Venom?
It could be Eddie Brock of this world.
That's true. It could be Eddie Brock.
It could be Eddie Brock of this world, but it doesn't even have to be Eddie Brock. It could be anybody. It could be Ned, but it won't be Ned. Anyway, so because I know why it won't be Ned.
Why?
Because he promised I would never turn against you.
Oh yeah.
And when you write that in a screen, when you write that in a movie, yeah, that's done. They made it where that ain't gonna happen because it's just not gonna happen now. And they wrote it.
Yeah, right.
So he can't change. In real life, you could. In real life, you say, "Oh, I promise I won't do that," and you still change. But in a movie, it's changed.
Yeah.
But the fact that they left that little bit of the symbiote, so doesn't end up with Spider-Man. We now get the black Spider-Man suit.
Yeah.
Then we move to a new Eddie Brock. Could be Flash.
Could be Flash. That's true.
Could be Flash because Flash is his best friend. He loves him, and then maybe he just like sick of him being blown off, and now Flash becomes Venom.
Something, but now we have Venom in our universe.
Now you have a possibility of having Venom in the universe, right? So it's out there.
I was really hoping he would go back. I was really hoping that he'd be like, just take me out.
Send me to one of the universes.
Sony.
Nah, but it wouldn't make sense to say that because he wants to get back with MJ, and that shouldn't have been there. So it wouldn't make sense to do that. I thought he was just going to be pulled into a different universe or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know, whatever. But anyway, they wrapped it up with a bow. Well, they wrapped up that story with a bow that leads to the next story.
That leads to the next story, yes. Yeah. And we got so after this end credit scene, we get our credits. We get more credits, whatever. Credits. I'm saying like critics. Credits. And like the movie ends. And I was like, all right, well, we don't get a second end credit scene. And then we get a trailer. Which the definition of a trailer is it's supposed to trail after a movie. Like, yes, I love how they brought that back.
That's the real trailer, yeah.
Where like trailers are supposed to happen after you watch a movie.
Right.
And we got a full trailer for Multiverse of Madness.
Full trailer for it.
Got to see Wanda again. I love Wanda so much.
Setting up Multiverse of Madness. Is that March of next year? Or is it May? Is it May?
Now.
Yeah, they pushed it back. That's right. They pushed it back. So, yeah, it's on and popping. They set it up for the Multiverse of Madness. But he doesn't remember Peter. but he should at least remember what he did
Yes.
with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Or something.
The Watcher was in it. The Watcher's voice.
You heard The Watcher?
Yes, he was
I
talking.
missed it.
Oh, so I guess we do have to watch it again.
No, I'm not watching it again.
The Watcher
I'm not
was
waiting for that
there.
to happen again.
And the Doctor Strange from What If was there.
That was cool.
Which was awesome. I didn't think that, okay, I knew that What If was canon, but I didn't know what they were going to do with it.
Yeah.
But they brought him into this. So it's interesting, like, I don't even know. Could we get an Ultron? Like, no, they defeated him.
Nah, they can't bring that back. They've already used Ultron.
They've
So
already used it. They've already used it.
Listen, anything they've shot before, they're not gonna bring back again. I mean, never say never. Who knows?
I know. Never say never
Who
because
knows?
Marvel's
But,
crazy.
Yeah, Marvel is crazy. And look, Kevin Feige know what he's doing. I mean, he finds a way to make it work.
Yeah.
Because I was a little scared about Phase 4 and Phase 5 because it's so large.
Mm-hmm.
You've brought in Eternals.
It's different now. Like phases 1, 2, and 3, yeah, we have our contained stories. But now phase 4,
Everything ties together. It is large beyond scope. So it's like, for me, it's like, how do you manage this? You know what I mean? But Feige knows how to do it. He's doing it. So
Yeah.
it works.
I'm really excited about Multiverse of Madness. I do not even, I cannot give you a speculation. I don't know what this movie's about. Don't know where it's going to go.
I can guarantee almost in Multiverse of Madness, this is how we get Fantastic Four. Because they're
Yeah.
shooting it now. And this is how we get X-Men.
Yeah, for sure. I guess to give a speculation,
Yeah.
we're going to get people pulled in. Like
Because
that
the
we've been
same guy
needing.
who shot Spider-Man, he's shooting Fantastic Four.
Oh, nice.
Same director, John Watts. So he's shooting Fantastic. They gave him
Sam
Fantastic
Raimi's
Four.
doing this movie.
Yeah, this is gonna be
Which,
this is gonna be
amazing.
scary.
But yeah, no, I think that we're gonna get people pulled in, but I do not know what the plot of this movie could
No,
be.
I have no idea.
Just like what could happen, I don't know.
Yeah, I have no
Is Wanda
idea.
good? Is she bad? She's talking to Doctor Strange, but then
Yeah.
we saw her like kind of evil
And
looking.
she's not in the
Wow.
woods where she was. She's somewhere else on a different, like
else.
an orchard or something. He shows up. And when he shows up, she's thinking, oh, you're here because of what happened in that town. He's like, nah, I'm not here about that.
It's fine.
That
Like
was- yeah,
that was a minuscule thing to what we have.
Yeah, we got stuff happening. Okay?
Yeah.
We got stuff going on right now that we need to talk about. It's really weird though, because I'd love to see if whatever happened with Kang happens the exact same time as this is happening. Because Kang dismantled the TVA and changed the way things are. So does that affect how the multiverse is happening?
I think that time that episode, the last episode of Loki, when King is like, he's talking and then he hears like some like lightning in the background and thunder, and he's
Yeah.
like, that wasn't me. Like that from this point on, I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, he said, I don't know what's
He's
happening.
like, I don't know
He
anymore
says- he
because
says,
something
at
just
this-
changed.
He says the first time, this is the end.
Yeah.
From here on out, I don't know what's
I
going to
don't
happen
know.
next.
And I think that's because of what we saw at the end of this movie where everything's breaking.
Yeah.
No.
Or it could be Wanda. Some people think whatever happened at Wanda is the same thing happened there. I don't know. Who
I think
knows?
it's all linked up. I think everything's
It could be
synced.
all linked. Could be all linked. Happening. This. I don't know. It could be all linked. So
That's another problem I'm having with phase 4 is like I don't know the timeline. Like
Yeah.
with phases 1, 2, and 3, I'm like, okay, I know where things go. Like
Yeah.
even if movies are out of order, I can figure it out. But with this stuff right now, it's only been a year, and I'm still trying to be like, where
Yeah.
do we place things? You know?
well, we know this is after Spider-Man. We know this is after Wanda because he's coming to Wanda.
Mm-hmm.
So this is just a setup for bringing the Fox universe into Marvel universe. That's it.
Mm.
We're gonna get X-Men. We're gonna get Fantastic Four. All that kind of good stuff. It's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be crazy. And this to talk about like how it's crazy that we've gotten 9 projects in 1 year, and just to let y'all know, it's gonna be another 5 months until another Marvel project comes out. So we just got a hiatus, but we have a lot of other things coming.
Oh yeah, next week is Boba Fett, right?
Next week, Dad. Oh my gosh. Next week is Matrix, Kings, and the Kingsman. So many things.
Yeah.
Week after
This
that
week is Matrix.
is Boba Fett.
We're going to Matrix Thursday.
What day is this?
Today's Sunday. We're going to Matrix on Thursday.
Yeah, we're going Matrix Thursday. We still have Kingsman, which
Kingsman, we could do probably Kingsman on Wednesday because that comes out as well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We got to figure it out
Kingsman-
somewhere. But it's
Kingsman's
only
in
in regular
digital.
theaters though.
huh?
It's only in regular theaters.
Yeah, digital garbage.
All right. Maybe they'll have it in the Grapevine Cinemark place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we got a trailer for Cobra Kai season 4. We have Invincible coming back in the beginning of the year.
We didn't even get to talk about Wheel of Time.
Oh, I didn't even watch it. Like, there's too much. We didn't do a review for Hawkeye episode 5
I know.
or 4. Five. Yeah. There's just too much stuff. So it's just like,
Well, it'll be good because our next podcast, I don't know when that's gonna be because next weekend is Christmas. So I don't know. Maybe the Sunday after Christmas we'll do something. But our next podcast we can catch up on Wheel of Time because we'll be at 6, the final season of Hawkeye. We would have seen The Matrix. We would have seen Kingsman.
yeah, Wheel of Time.
Oh my gosh, Wheel of Time. We'd have to catch up on. We got a bunch of stuff to catch up on for next week. for
Yeah.
next show.
See, now that we're really getting this DNA going. It's been a year officially, guys. Not officially. Well, last month was a year, and we started out with Star Wars, and we were like, okay, watch Star Wars each week. And then it was like, oh, add on Marvel. Okay, add on these other movies. And now we have a bunch of things that we're like, okay, we have to like manage it.
Full blown, guys. Full blown.
We're full blown now.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Well, I think that's it. We got to go to our movie.
Yeah, we gotta drive down.
Yeah,
So
we gotta go see Spider-Man again, guys. We gotta go see Spider-Man again. It's
and after doing this analysis, I think that's gonna even make it better for us.
yeah, because now we'll be able to see a little more.
Yeah.
You guys have got to go, man. I've got to go to see Spider-Man again. You can't. This movie's too big to watch once, and I'm sure you guys have already seen it more than twice if you're watching a spoiler. It's just you'll see more stuff the second time you watch it for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, we're excited to go see it. And so now make sure to subscribe. Give us a like. Thank y'all so much for being on here. This was really fun to finally do spoiler talk because I've been wanting to do a deep dive of everything I saw this movie.
Yes.
One last thing. What was your most favorite point?
Oh man, it's too much. I don't know what.
Okay, actually, I changed my mind. What's your most favorite like Easter egg, like small moment? I'm gonna say Daredevil. I'm sorry. I just gotta say it, Dad.
It was perfect.
Yes!
He just sat there in the chair.
And he caught a brick. Okay.
He just sat there and caught a break.
I just wanted to say it again. That's all.
My favorite moment, I don't know, man. It's so great. I tell you what, though, the biggest pop for me is when Andrew came through the portal.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
When Andrew came through the portal, the whole theater erupted.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And it was good to see the first day, man, with all the fans, all the hardcore fans too. Everybody was yelling and screaming. Yeah, it was fun. That was a good pop. Yeah.
All right, we'll see y'all next time.
All right, guys. See you next time.
Bye.